On a rocky outcrop where the sea meets the sky, there's an old lighthouse, standing tall against the test of time. It's weathered storms, wars, and the relentless march of the years. For over a century, it guided ships away from the jagged shore. But today, in the age of satellites and GPS, it's mostly forgotten. But not by Thomas Hale. Thomas is the last lightkeeper, a 73-year-old man as weathered as the stones beneath the lighthouse. Born there, raised by his father, also a keeper, Thomas took over the post after his father passed. Despite the government's offers to retire him, he refused. They may not need the light, he'd say, but the sea still needs watching. Thomas lives a quiet life. He reads old sea logs, mends nets he never uses, and polishes the brass of the great lantern above. Every evening he climbs the spiral staircase and lights the flame, more symbolic than necessary these days. But for Thomas, it's a ritual of faith. One stormy night, a knock echoed through the tower. Startled, Thomas opened the heavy door to find a soaked girl, barely 16, shivering in the rain. Her name was Mira. "I got lost in the storm," she said. "My boat, it's gone." Thomas took her in, gave her dry clothes and warm soup. As the wind howled outside, she shared her story. She was part of a youth sailing group from a nearby coastal town. A freak storm had separated her from the others. Seeing the lighthouse beacon, she had paddled toward it on a piece of driftwood. Thomas listened, silently grateful the light still had purpose. The storm raged for 2 days. During that time, Mira grew fascinated by the lighthouse. She asked questions about the light, the sea, the old journals lining the shelves. "Don't you get lonely here?" she asked. Thomas looked out at the crashing waves. "The sea talks. You just have to learn how to listen." On the third day, the storm calmed and a rescue boat arrived. Mira was found. Before leaving, she hugged Thomas tightly. "Thank you for everything. I'll come back." Thomas watched her boat vanish into the mist. Weeks passed, then months. Thomas resumed his routines, though his eyes now often wandered to the sea with a flicker of expectation. One day a letter came. It was from Mira. She had started volunteering at a maritime museum. Her visit to the lighthouse changed her. She wanted to preserve coastal history, tell stories of people like him. The letters continued for years. On a quiet autumn morning, Thomas lit the lantern for the last time. He sat in his chair, journal in hand, and fell asleep to the lull of the waves, never to wake again. True to her word, Mira returned. She turned the lighthouse into a living museum, leaving everything as it was. The light still shone at dusk, even if only for memory's sake, because some lights aren't for guidance, some are for remembrance. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more maritime tales. Until next time, keep the light burning.